Hey everybody, 24th vlog of the year, and it's Pet Peeve Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's Angry John time! Except I'm not really gonna get angry, just, you know. Anyway, so today's topic is social media gurus or social media experts. And if you have no idea what these people are, you should thank the stars. But I'm going to be giving you the Cliff Notes version. Okay. If you have no idea what social media is, I can tell you very briefly. Social media basically refers to any social media, social networking. It's all basically the same thing. It refers to any site or service that relies or is dependent upon user-generated interaction. Basically, that's the basic definition, I would say. So think stuff like, immediately when I think of social media, I think of Twitter. I think of Facebook. I think of LinkedIn, Google Plus, Tumblr, YouTube. YouTube's the one that everyone forgets about, and I'll get to that in a second. That's what spurred this pet peeve was YouTube, actually, talking about YouTube. Um, yeah, I'm an advertising major in college. I'm going to be graduating in May, so if you're a future employer, hire me. Well, you probably won't after you see this video. Like, what? He has no respect for social media. Uh, so I encounter a lot more of these people than the normal human beings should be allowed to be subjected to. But basically, and I know a lot of people who want to work in social media, and some of you may be watching this and you might be like, what are you talking about, a job in social media? There are people, a growing number of people, that are paid by companies or advertising agencies or, publications or what have you, to sit on Twitter all day and basically, I'm making it sound more Neanderthal than it actually is, but Twitter. But they basically sit on Twitter and watch the social media scene all day long. And I actually know a guy who works for Advertising Age. I follow him on Twitter, and he's an example of someone who works in social media that I can respect. That they're really into it. I mean, he's all over Twitter. He works for Advertising Age for one thing, and that's like the top advertising publication in the nation. There's people like that, and I even know some people in school that I think could get a job as a social media analyst or whatever. I'm not really sure the exact position. They're all over Tumblr, they're all over Twitter, of course. But then there's some people, and this is what the vlog is about, that think that they're social media experts, and they really don't know anything. And unfortunately, in my major, in the advertising major, there's a handful of people that don't know what they're going to do with their career, with their degree. They don't want to be, copywriter and art director, people who actually make advertisements. They don't want to be an account planner or an account executive, someone who gets to know the target market for advertisements and things like that. So they're like, I could do social media. And, so they go get a social media internship or something. And they sit on Twitter all day and they do tweets for their company. And I had one of these people, and this is what spurred the rant. I had one of these people who's a social media expert the other day try to tell me that YouTube is not relevant as a social media site, which I completely don't understand. And actually, speaking of Advertising Age, I talked to, when I was in New York about a year ago, I talked to this guy who writes for Advertising Age. I'm not going to reveal his name or anything. But he was talking about how YouTube as a social media platform is largely ignored, and he was like, it really shouldn't be that way. And I was sitting there and I was like, I agree with you. Like, thank you. YouTube is probably I'm not a social media expert, so don't take my word as law. But YouTube is like the oldest social media site that has like survived and stays relevant up until this point. I mean, YouTube was founded in 2006, I believe, and 6 years later, YouTube is more popular than ever. There's more people than ever making videos, watching videos. making money off of ad revenue, things like that. And I think I read somewhere that Google said that 90% of all internet usage will be video related by the end of this year. And when I first read that, I was like, what the hell? And I didn't read the whole article, unfortunately. And I don't remember where I read it, so I don't have a link. But when I thought about it, it made sense. I mean, first of all, you've got YouTube, which is the largest video hosting site on the internet. I mean, Vimeo, they're in there too. But whenever you talk about like, oh, look at this viral video, or like check out this video, about 98% of the time it's going to be a YouTube link. And so you've got all those video related, all that video related traffic, and then you've got porn. So there's another huge chunk of internet traffic that's completely video related. It's not just YouTube. It's not just YouTube and porn. There's also stuff like TED Talks and just really, Netflix. Netflix is huge. Hulu. I mean, you've got all these sites that are based entirely on video content, and YouTube is like the king of all of them. And so this guy, he was trying to tell me that YouTube is not a valid social media platform, and I just about lost it. I wanted to slap him. Anyway, he's one of those guys that like walks around campus with his iPad and like, well, yeah, it's all about Web 2.0, Twitter, blah. And it's like, dude, you don't know anything. Like, you're gonna be jobless when you graduate. The sad part is he probably won't be jobless because there's many old people out in the professional business industry, and so a lot of them are looking to get into social media. Like, oh, you need a Twitter, you need a Facebook, you need someone to manage your Facebook page, you need someone to tweet for you, and so they're gonna find people that are like, oh, I graduated with a degree in journalism and I know social media, So, I have no interest in that, and I don't actually think that. I mean, it's a relatively new position, just opening up in the past couple of years. I mean, how long has Facebook been around? How long have I been using Facebook? About 5 years. How long have I been using Twitter? About a year. Twitter's only been relevant the past 2 or 3 years, maybe. So I mean, is a position in a company for social media or whatever is relatively new, and I think like I said, I'm no expert. I'm just a bum college student who doesn't even have a degree yet, but I think that it will be irrelevant in the next decade. I mean, because the way that technology is advancing, are we still look at how fast MySpace died. I mean, how long did you actually use a MySpace? I know all of you had one. How long did you actually use MySpace? 2 years, maybe? And then Facebook came along and you moved along to that. Now, Google Plus never caught on. Well, it hasn't caught on yet. I think it will later because, honestly, I think it's just a better website and a better platform than Facebook. But Google's going to take over the world. Let's just resign ourselves to that. We're all going to have Android phones, and we're all going to have Google Pluses linked to our YouTube accounts and all that stuff. I'm being facetious, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. So anyway, I think that while some of these social media experts, they might have a job after they graduate, and it might be limited to, I'm going to make your company a Twitter. I'm going to make your company a Facebook page. Okay, well, I guess I'll just manage these two things for the rest of my life. I think that they won't have that job in a matter of 5 to 10 years. That's just the way I see things going. I mean, with the way that I said this, I meant to, further this point earlier, but the way that technology is advancing today, there's going to be something new that happens in the next 5 years, and we won't have Facebooks anymore. We'll have, something else. Who knows? I mean, I have email on my phone now. I have a smartphone. Like, most people I know have smartphones. Now, I know I go to university and it's a different, demographic, psychographic group or whatever than just the average person in the world. But you know, 4 years ago, everybody had a razor. You guys remember that? I mean, yeah, some of you might be too young to remember the razor, but when I was a senior in high school, the razor was like, ooh, that's the new phone, and everyone had a razor, and I had a track phone. So there you go. You know, in a mere 4 years later, the majority of the people I know have iPhones or Androids or Blackberries. Although BlackBerry is kind of on its way out. BlackBerry is pretty much reserved for the older businessman with a briefcase. So, yeah, but the way the technology is advancing, there's going to be something completely new, and then they'll have to get an actual job. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. But, you know, I mean, like I said, there's some people that do social media for a living, and they're good at it, and I think that they deserve that job that they have, and they have they have an actual skill set and things like that, and they're good at researching, and but then there's another group of people, mostly in college with me in my classes, that walk around with their iPads. Ooh, Web 2.0, you know. And those people I have absolutely no respect for, and that's what this vlog is about. Okay. And they tried to tell me that YouTube is not a valuable social media site. So I think that says everything that you guys need to hear. Okay. Well, show and tell Wednesdays tomorrow. Don't miss it. I don't know what I'm going to show and tell you guys yet, but I'll figure it out. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.